All right.
And we're back again.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know who we are, of course. I'm Katie.
I'm Brian.
And today we have a special guest with us. Introduce yourself, special guest.
Hey everyone, my name is Noah.
The Milkman.
All right, introduce yourself like you're reading off your Tinder profile.
Oh, shit. Okay. I don't have Tinder anymore.
Oh?
I have Hinge.
Okay.
Nice.
Upgrade. It's a little different, but basically, it still has a little profile thing. Mine basically says, I'm looking for someone to fall in love with or a mouth to spit in, preferably both.
Nice.
That's good.
That needs another round of applause.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, based off that, drop a comment if you would swipe left or right.
Wait, you didn't even get to brown hair, brown eyes. You didn't even get to describe yourself at all, bro.
Yeah. I forgot about that part. So, Did I just describe myself like physically or?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Well,
How big are you?
Oh, my.
5'9".
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
About $150.
Nice.
I got brown curly hair. I got green eyes. I'm left-handed.
Oh.
Woo.
I'm Sagittarius, of course.
Oh. Sun, moon, rising.
Okay. Sun is Sagittarius. Moon is Pisces. Gemini rising.
Oh, that's an interesting mix.
On God, it is.
I don't know what he said.
I don't know what any of it means. I just know that that's my big three.
Damn. That's crazy. All right. One thing about it, because I think you already described it, though, because you deleted Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the next question would be for you, brother. What do you feel about dating apps, Would you rather meet them in person, or, do you feel like it's just,
So,
they work? You know what I mean?
I feel like, I don't have any problem with dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
What's your preference, though?
Between the two, I prefer to meet somebody in person. I feel like it's a bit more, a little bit more personable. It's a lot easier to pretend to be someone else over the internet, like just have a different personality, put on a facade. It's a lot harder to mask who you actually are when you're in person. And so that's probably what I would prefer. I do use dating apps, and I do use dating apps for, just Hinge, but I do use that a lot. I was just kind of doing the in-person thing for a while. I deleted Hinge for maybe 4 or 5 months.
Oh, wow.
But
Really?
yeah,
How'd that go?
not great.
What?
Well, I'm really bad. I'm really awkward when I'm meeting new people.
Oh.
It's very hard. It's very hard for me to talk to people I don't know. With that being said, it's a lot easier to kind of talk and get to know somebody through text. Like meeting them on a dating app, it just makes everything a lot easier.
For sure.
Fuck it. Yeah, no, I do prefer dating apps. Makes
Yeah?
my life easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like it's usually the opposite for people, so that's really interesting.
Interesting. It's the opposite for me. Well, it was at least, because I was like, dating apps made it super easy to just be like, not have to focus on it, but it's available to you when you want to focus on it. So
I've
it's
always been an in-person date or meet up type of thing. Like, I've had dating apps, but I think I've only met up with one person on it ever in my life.
How'd it go?
Not great. Not great.
No.
I feel like it's also different coming from like the girl side rather than a guy side.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more creepers from the girl side, right? I would assume.
Oh yeah, and the catfishes are way worse. I feel like.
No.
No.
Hell
Oh,
No, women are catfish as fuck.
Some of them, it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most 80% of dudes don't know how to edit their fucking photos. You know
For
what
real.
I mean? Like,
A
They
lot
look
of it is
exactly like
like-
they look.
I guess when I say catfish, a lot of it is height, and then you meet them, and they're.
Well, then,
okay.
yeah,
That,
okay.
Now that I
is
believe.
super, yeah.
That I believe. Like, guys
Sure.
lying about their height. I definitely lie about my height.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh,
this
yeah?
guy was a model
100%. Yeah.
because of it.
Yeah, I had to lie about my height to do the modeling. Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, that's a height like minimum to model in the Pacific Northwest. You have
Oh,
to
I
be.
bet.
You have to be 5'11" or taller. I'm 5'9". I told him I was 5'11".
Nice.
That was scary. I was expecting like walk into the studio and there's like a little like notch in the door that's at 5'11", and if you walk in and you're under it, they're like, hey. Get
Yeah.
out.
You wore your tall boots that
I
day.
did. I wore my docs.
You
Yeah.
wore the dogs.
Yeah, and I'm still
Come
only
in.
5'10" with the docs, so Doesn't help.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Damn it, dude.
I'm a short king.
Don't worry.
Speaking of dating apps and that type of stuff, like what are red flags?
What I consider red flag, or like my own personal red flags.
Both.
So what I consider red flag is, I don't know if either of you ever had Hinge, but it's there's prompts that you can answer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if they're really short or dry or just uninteresting, that's a red flag for me. That if you can't even take time to think about an interesting way to answer the prompt, how are you going to be when we meet and you don't really have a whole lot of time to think and we're actually just kind of conversing? And so that's a red flag for me. You could put what you're looking for, whether it's like figuring out my dating goals, short term, long term, or life partner. If it says life partner, I'm out. And that's not. It's not because I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I just, for some reason, when I see that, I'm like, type shit. You know?
Wow, interesting.
Uh,
But you're looking for a girlfriend, which is hilarious. 'cause
Yeah.
You would think that that's what you would want.
Right. No, I definitely want to settle down, but just something instinctually. I don't know if it's just because I've been single for so long that life partner just scares the shit out of me, or I don't know what it is, but
How long
it's
have you
more
been single?
commitment.
I had girlfriends in high school, since high school basically, so it's been, I don't know, almost 5 years now.
So sexuality, you've only ever had girlfriends?
I'm definitely straight. Tried kissing dudes, wasn't into it. Never had a male partner, but I've,
You're just curious.
yeah. I mean, when I was in high school, I was definitely curious, because of the way I carry myself and my demeanor, a lot of people would ask me if I was gay. For the longest time, I'm like, no, I'm straight, because I knew for a fact I like girls. Like that was non-debatable. After I kept getting asked, I'm like, damn, there's got to be
Am
a
I?
reason. There's got to be a reason that they're asking me, like, do I like dudes?
Why do people think I'm gay? Am I gay?
Yeah, like low key, like it was starting to like fuck my head up a little bit,
Yeah.
and so I was telling my friends about it. He's like, kiss a dude. I'm like, word, you're right, and then he kissed me.
Oh, wait,
Oh.
it was your homie?
It was my boy, yeah.
Okay,
Damn.
well,
Was he
obviously
gay?
you're not gonna feel a spark if it's a homie.
Uh,
felt
Unless
the
you
spark.
did.
Unless
I
you
didn't.
did.
No, but I felt the spark if it's like my homegirl that I kiss. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've had that before, but like with him, I was like, this ain't for me. No,
Yeah, all right.
Was it too much tongue? Is that what it was?
there was no there was no tongue. He was very proper and
Oh, nice.
gentlemanly about
Wow.
it. But
Did he have soft lips?
I don't want to talk about that, bro. But I just know that I'm not interested.
Confirmed
Okay.
straight. He doesn't
Confirmed
want to
straight.
talk about
He
it.
said it was more of a traumatic experience than it really was. You know what I mean?
Real.
Nice.
But and then to kind of go back to the question in terms of my own personal red flags, I've been told that me being a Gemini rising is a red flag. I'm a pretty dry texter. That's a red flag for sure. And I also take a long time to respond. And I'm also very forgetful of things. So if like we set up like a date and time, if you don't remind me day of, I will forget. I definitely have an ego.
Oh, really?
Definitely, yeah.
You have an ego.
Unfortunately, yeah. I try to work on it. but-
Describe the ego.
I'm well aware that I'm a very good-looking person,
Nice.
and
Nothing wrong with that.
no. I mean, and that to me, at the end of the day, that one's more so confidence, and just kind of acceptance.
Accepting that I'm beautiful.
Yeah, and it's been a long, hard road accepting that, brother.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, embrace it.
Yeah, I think I'm smarter than I actually am. I'm well aware of that. Genuinely, I think I'm one of the smartest people in any room I'm in.
Does
It
that
could be
make
an
you
ego.
treat people differently in the room, though, if you think you're smarter?
I genuinely try my best not to. I've caught myself, especially in high school, I was really bad about that because I was treated like I was one of the smartest kids in school, and so I thought myself as such. If it was somebody that wasn't considered, like a quote unquote smart kid, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't be mean to them or anything. But if it was someone else that was also considered smart, but I know damn well I got the answer more than they do.
So you're just competitive.
A little, yeah. I would say it's more of a competitive thing. I don't
okay.
talk down on people, or I do my best not to.
All categories, or do you feel like you're smart in a certain area?
Math or science or geography. Or...
So I mean, I got the TISM. I got diagnosed when I was 22. I guess one of the kind of things that came from that was I have a lot of niche, special, just kind of interests that jump around a lot. So because of that, I have a very kind of general knowledge of just about everything.
Nice.
Specialized in certain things. Most of it's like kind of historical stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm really into Renaissance artists and painters from that time and learning about them. Most people know this, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the dude that Raphael's named after, killed a guy and was in jail for 30 days because of it.
Whoa.
Just 30 days?
Just 30 days because it was considered a passion crime. Like, let's say you come home, right, and your girl's just getting railed, right? and so you're pissed and you kill them both, that's considered a passion crime. Like you weren't in the right frame of mind when you did it.
Interesting.
So your sentence got shortened.
30 days though, that's not very long.
No, it wasn't. And then when he got back out, because he was living in this sort of convent with a lot of other Renaissance artists back in the day, and they kicked him out of that convent because he killed somebody that was in that convent. You know, they're like, all right,
Makes sense.
yeah, we don't want you here.
That's actually really cool that you know stuff like that.
Yeah, that stuff I love reading about. I love learning about, just because it's like interesting. And so I just have a bunch of niche stuff. Right now it's Renaissance. It was the like Greek gods and goddesses when I was a kid. I know way too much about Harry Potter. Like it's just like, and it all just kind of retains. I know way too much about cows. Like it's just like
I know.
little things here and there. And I know you know about the cow thing, but
Milkman.
yeah,
Oh, is that why you guys call him that?
that's one of the reasons.
One. Yeah.
What is the other reason?
There's a lot of reasons.
We're on Simps and Pimps, and now we gotta know.
One of the reasons I'm called the Milkman is because I was a MILF hunter. I've since retired from that, but I was
Retired.
I was at one point a MILF hunter. The nickname the Milkman came from when I was working at Fred Meyer. I was a cart pusher, grocery bagger type. We had this code, like because we all had a bunch of walkies, so that way we could communicate when we were throughout the store. And one of the codes was cow down, which basically is if a customer drops a gallon of milk in the dairy aisle and it just spills all over the place. That's what cow down means. I would always have to be the motherfucker that cleans it up, always without fail. If I was on the clock, I was cleaning that milk, whether I wanted to or not. and they're like, "Damn, bro, you're kind of like the milkman."
Damn.
That's kind of hard. and they're all like, "That is kind of hard." And so on my name tag, it said Noah, but like right underneath it, we have a label maker. We put the Milkman.
That's cool.
And so then that was when I decided to come back to social media. So I made my Instagram, and I made my Instagram milkman.noah. And it's just been that ever since.
I thought it was gonna be a dirty story for Simps.
Oh,
and
like he
Pimps.
was just like splashing on people's faces.
Like
just-
I was like Simps and Pimps.
So he's the
podcast.
Oh, yeah,
milkman because he
no.
delivers the milk to them.
Something like that.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no.
I mean,
I was
that is
ready.
also his other talent for sure.
Oh, you would know?
No.
It's no.
I mean,
the reason
personally.
the reason I'm the Milkman is very PG, like very PG.
Fair. Do you know how high you are on the spectrum? Because you're obviously really high functioning.
I don't really have any issues with social cues or empathy or anything like that. My bright lights, loud noises, I'm definitely very much affected by that.
Okay.
To the point where when I was younger, I would have seizures when I was a kid.
Oh shit.
And my parents thought it was epilepsy because that just made the most sense. But no, it was just extreme photosensitivity. And to this day, I have problems with it. I don't have seizures or nothing, but I'll get like really bad headaches from flashing lights. And I mean, working where I work at Discount Tire, there's a bunch of loud ass noises, and so that shit would fuck with my head too. And then tics and fidgets. I definitely fidget a lot. Not really any tics necessarily, but I do fidget a lot. I can't really like sit still or stand still or
Okay.
anything like that. I always got to be moving in some way, shape, or form.
Would you say that's like the biggest struggle with the autism spectrum thing, like just the fidget thing?
More so just the photosensitivity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I mean, if a cop is pulling someone over at night, I cannot see.
Do you feel like the autism that you have been diagnosed with, do you feel like that's what created or helps out you kind of like the superpower you have with the auras?
I heard about this. I think one of the first
You know what
times
I
I
mean?
met you.
Yeah.
Like how does that work? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to know about this superpower of yours.
So
Describe it to the people.
when I graduated high school, I went to college in Hawaii for a term. For those that are listening, I guess I can sense auras in a way. And how I found that out was I had a partner that I was with, and while they and I, my fault, were cuddled up, I was FaceTiming my friend Jonah back home. We were just talking and catching up, and then after he hung up, I was just gushing about how much I love my friend. And I told them that Jonah reminded me of the color yellow. And they were like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "Well, every time I talk to Jonah, just I can feel and see the color yellow." And they're like, "Dog, that's an aura." And I'm like, "What you mean?" And
Wait a minute, what?
What data?
what the hell that is? And they explained it to me, and aura is sort of an energy, because everyone gives off a sort of frequency and energy. Some people's is very obvious for me. Some people's it takes me It takes me a while to figure it out, but I associate people with a color, and I guess in some way, shape, or form that is considered aura reading.
One of the first times meeting, I asked you that, and you were like,
Yeah.
I have to be around someone long enough for me to be able to pick up on it.
I still feel like I have to be around you more.
Yeah.
Some people it's immediate. I knew Brian's brother Steven the second I saw him was dark red. It was minutes. It was minutes that I knew
Wow.
Steven, and I was like, yeah, he's dark red.
Yep.
B, I had to get to know him a little bit, but he's bright red.
That's cool. And it's actually a funny story. I think you called Noah one time because I was talking about closing my eyes and doing something, and I kept seeing bright red, and you were like, no way, I have to call Noah, like, this is a sign, and all this stuff. Because that's all I kept seeing that day, too.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I thought he was lying.
Nah.
I thought
See?
he texted you ahead of time and was like, just say you saw bright red.
Yeah, no, it's a
Weird.
it's a whole thing. It helps pick up on when I'm meeting new people, like especially in dating, because I've come to associate and realize that certain people, when I associate a color with them, it turns out I'm not going to vibe with them.
What are those colors? So,
So-
people know.
So I really fuck with the reds. The greens end up being more friends than anything else. If I see any sort of shade of purple, I'm in love.
Really?
In love.
In love. Like,
Aw, that's
like
cool.
I want to be around them forever.
Oh,
Wow.
that's kind of sweet.
In your lifetime, how many purples have you met?
4.
Wow. See?
Who are they?
They're unique.
One of them was my little brother.
Okay.
He's dark purple.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I mean we're locked in forever.
For sure.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them was my partner in Hawaii.
Now I want to know what happened now.
Yeah, me too.
So Hawaii, I was feeling pretty lonely. Obviously, I was thousands of miles away from everyone I ever knew and loved. So I was just like, damn, I don't know anybody here. And at the University of Hawaii, they have these 4 dorm towers, 13 floors in each of them, and about 10 rooms per floor. But up on the roof, there's roof access where there's laundry machines, a kitchen, and then like kind of a patio thing that overlooks Hawaii. It's so
Nice.
sick. At night, there'd be a bunch of people up there. And so I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll go up there and I'll try to meet some people. This girl came up to me and she goes, can I braid your hair? Because I had really long hair at the time. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And so,
Can I braid your hair?
and,
I like when people are like upfront like that, like just hey.
and so she brought me over to her friends and I get introduced to them all. And they all seem pretty cool. So let her braid my hair. We're all just talking and BSing and stuff. And I met my partner. They were really cool. They listened to good music. They were gorgeous, and them and I were really vibing. And I was on the roof doing some homework. They were on the roof doing some laundry, and there's this little side room next to the kitchen, and that's where I was doing my work. And like they started bugging me and stuff, and then the bugging me turned into, someone was gonna walk in. You know what I mean?
But I mean, that would probably excite you.
No, that scares the crap out of me. No,
Really?
the idea of doing that shit in public scares the shit out of me.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Okay, so not a kink.
All
right.
No, hell no. A couple times I've like done something in a similar stance where there's people around that could very easily catch me. I was hammered and wasn't really thinking. Oh, it was always considered like an intimacy thing for me. It's an intimate kind of thing between 2 people.
Agreed.
If there's people around or that could walk in, that's 2 people in like their most vulnerable positions, depending on the position.
For sure, obviously.
And to me, that's not something I look for at all. No, that's not a kink whatsoever. Like the way they would look at me, the way that they would listen to me, the way that they smelled, the way that they would talk about the things that they were interested in, the way that their eyes would light up when they talk about their friends back home. I was just like, okay, no, I love this woman. But we both knew it was going to be short-lived. I knew I wasn't going to come back for a second term in Hawaii. And they live in Kent, Washington, which is, in the grand scheme of things, not far, but too far for me, especially since they were going to be back in Hawaii for college. So we just both mutually decided, like, once this term's over and I fly back home, it's not going to be.
So you're not a long distance type of guy.
Absolutely not. I need physical contact.
Yep.
I need to be able to see the person. I need to know that they are tangible. Not that I would cheat or anything, but it wouldn't work out for me mentally.
So do you guys still talk at all?
No. We've thrown a couple happy birthdays each other's way. I remember that their birthday is July 7th. They remember my birthday is December 3rd. And so
Do you still love this person?
there's love there, but I wouldn't say I'm in love with them.
Yeah.
But there's still love there. I don't feel any sort of negative feelings towards them by any means. And if I don't even know how I would react if I saw them, but it would be nothing but good things. It'd be nothing but positivity.
Who are the other two purples?
My lesbian ex-girlfriend. And
Oh yeah, I remember her.
yeah, yeah.
You sound like you got a lot of stories. You had a lesbian ex-girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Yeah. My lesbian ex-girlfriend and my longest term relationship, which was in high school, that was about a year. So 3 ex-partners and my little brother were all purple.
Wow. What colors have you noticed so far that you don't get along with?
I've never seen white, but I've seen
Whoa.
shades of white. Like
Interesting.
I was talking to this one girl, and it somehow got brought up because this was around the time that I was talking to you about it, and how I could start reading those things and seeing those things. And they asked me, what color is mine, and hers. When I would picture, it's like the color of a seashell,
Oh.
like that sort of like off-white kind of. And I've noticed a couple people that have a very similar kind of palette to them. I usually end up liking who they are, but just for one reason or another, it never works out.
Damn.
Who's the most hated person? And why?
Ooh, Hitler.
Yeah, I hate Hitler. I hate whoever made feminine care products expensive. Those should be free or affordable.
Hey, for real.
I hate whoever invented periods.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
Man, I hate whoever invented the United States and didn't make men and women equal. I hate those motherfuckers that didn't give women the right to vote for a long time.
Boom. This is fun.
Man, no, I don't think I really hate anybody. I don't have that in my heart anymore. Everything was a lot more volatile when I was a teenager. Obviously, I think that's how we all were. But
I mean, what was your childhood like, your upbringing?
my upbringing, for the most part, was fairly normal. I mean, lived in a house with my mom and dad and my little brother my whole life. My dad and I's relationship was super up and down, just because he had anger issues really bad. He would lash out a lot. Never got physical or violent with me or my mom or my brother, but there were times where he would lash out at us. And I used to put my mom on this pedestal just because she was the defense between my father and then my brother and I. But through therapy and just thinking back and reminiscing, I've realized that a lot of the time, my mom would be the person that sets off my dad, just with little jabs, little hits, little things here and there to instigate. And that was something that I had to come to grips with, was it's not my dad's the bad guy all the time. Does that explain my dad's behavior? Sure. Does that excuse it? No. You know, his reaction was still bad, but there's just a little bit more of a kind of conflicting context to it.
So it's just you and your brother, sibling-wise?
Yeah, no, it's just him and I.
Do you think that's why you guys are so close, like kind of bonding over the upbringing?
Yes, I do. I think that's part of it for sure. Growing up, we had the stereotypical little brother, big brother relationship. He's 2 years younger than I am. I would say the catalyst for when we really started realizing we were locked in was, I think, I must have been 16. He must have been 14. And him and my dad got in a really, really bad argument, like screaming at each other. It was getting really bad. So my brother just packed a bag and was gonna walk to his friend's house, and I was just like, "Let me drive you." And so we get in my car. About halfway to his friend's house, he just breaks down. Even when my brother and I's relationship wasn't awesome, seeing him cry or anything like that, I just immediately just go into big brother mode, and I just want to stop whatever's causing that. And he's breaking down in my car, so I just pull over and I grab him and I hold him, and I let him do what he has to do, and I told him I loved him. And I think that was the first time I had told him I loved him without being forced to by our parents.
Yeah.
And I think that really hit home for both of us. And he said, "I love you too," and we just kind of sat there, and then I started crying, just because of the whole thing. But yeah, so that was our catalyst, and just ever since then, he's been my best friend. He's been everything to me.
I have a story like that too, where it was like, my brother would always be the one to get picked on from my dad immensely. Like, every day, it almost seemed like he was the reason why. Like, my dad was always so pissed at him. One day, he was just eating Cheetos. My brother, just eating Cheetos, minding his business.
How old were you guys?
Probably like maybe 14 or something. I can't remember. It was around that age. Obviously, it's like, yeah, you just be like, don't eat Cheetos before dinner, whatever, right? But my dad got so pissed at him, insanely pissed, and he comes through the door. He's all, are you eating Cheetos?
Oh, no.
Right? And it's like, oh, fuck. And you just see my brother he's about to like get beat. So my dad comes, he's like, we're right there. And so my dad goes in his room. He grabs his like belt shit. Like, I don't know if you guys know what, like the back brace thing, like belt like that. So he would grab that, but he would hit you with the buckle part. Right.
Ooh.
So he would get that part, and then so he comes in the kitchen. But I see this kind of happening in front of me, and I'm like, every day this is the same thing. My dad is always just picking on him and taking out his frustrations on him. So this is enough, right? And I told my brother, I was like, don't worry, bro, I got you. So then as soon as he comes in the kitchen, he walks in, and then I'm like, I like go like this. I just spread my arms out, and I'm like, Dad, you can't do this. Stop. Like I tell, this is the first time like we've actually ever engaged in this conversation to ever like talk about how he mistreats my brother so much. And I think that day he finally realized it. I feel like that was a moment that my brother knew that he could probably rely on me, because there were so many moments where I was just like disappointed him and I was not there for him, and I feel like I needed to make up for those moments in that time, like right there and then, because I was like, I don't know why.
Every sibling, I feel like if it's a close relationship, has that catalyst, has that thing that kind of set it off and was like, okay, yeah, we're locked in.
It's interesting to me because you guys are both like the older sibling in your brother relationship, because both of you don't have sisters. And then I'm the youngest and the only sister with me and my two siblings. And like, I don't think we ever had a moment like that. We've always just been like super close. Like, me and Justin didn't have to have like a breakthrough moment. We've always just been right there with each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are twins, obviously, right? No?
Exactly. We're not twins.
I thought you guys were twins.
Nice.
Everyone, that's what I'm talking
guys are
about.
twins,
We're
right?
so like that everyone thinks we're twins.
That's crazy.
He's 2 years older than me.
Dude, I lived this whole life.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I thought you and Justin were twins.
Because we
That's
do
hilarious.
that weird twin telepathy thing all the time too. Like, you've noticed it living with us now.
Yeah, for sure. Like all of a sudden they were thinking about the same thing that they want to eat. Like, had no idea. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm really feeling this, and then all of a sudden, like,
We get a text.
yeah, now we're 30 minutes later. Hey, y'all trying to eat this? And then it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That just proves my point.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. That's crazy.
I was so fully convinced that you two were twins.
Yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
Like, no one even like told me that
that's
either. I'm
funny.
just like, oh yeah, they're twins.
You just had a feeling.
Everyone
Yeah.
thinks that. You haven't been the first to think that.
Yeah, the genes are strong. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So, I know this is gonna be like a really hard question for you, because there's probably a shit ton. But
Yeah, you're really into music. That's the first thing I picked up
come
on
on,
you
bro.
when I first met you.
favorite artist and why? Let's go.
Favorite artist of all time is The Weeknd.
Oh.
Hit us
Answer
with the why.
quick.
No, for sure. I know.
So, according to Apple Music and Spotify, he's been my number one most listened to artist for 7 years straight, consecutively. Yeah, there's been different people that came out of the top 5. There are definitely some honorable mentions, right? Listen to a lot of Travis Scott. I listen to a lot of Smino. Right now, I listen to a lot of Jimi Hendrix, My Bloody Valentine. But The Weeknd, time and time again, every time he releases something new, it is something that correlates with my life. And
Oh, wow.
it's just kind of, in a sense, him and I are like, I mean, obviously we've never met before, and we probably never will. But it feels like every time he releases something, we're in lockstep.
Shout out Abel.
Shout out Abel.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of life, what are your goals next year, next 3, next 5,
So,
next 10, 20, 30, 40,
100 years.
50?
all right. So my goal in the next year, I want to have a girlfriend.
Oh,
I want to finish my tattoo sleeve on my right arm,
nice.
and I want to start budgeting for saving up to buy a house.
I love that you knew your goals immediately as soon as I asked.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I'm goal oriented, man. I always got to be striving for something.
Yeah.
All right, next 5 years.
Very
What's it look
goal-oriented.
like?
Store manager of a discount tire.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's 3 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, come on, bro.
Yeah,
It's gotta be sooner than that.
it'll be less than 5. 5 years, I want to have a house. By then, I would have been a store manager. I would like to have found somebody that I'm okay with having kids with, whether that's marriage or just someone that I'm partnered with. Next 10 years,
Yeah.
I'll be 33, assistant vice president of
Mm.
the region of Discount Tire.
By 33, that's
About 33.
nice.
That's enough time to really like showcase that you deserve that position.
I'm going to have 4 kids, by the way.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to have a daughter, I'm going to have a son, I'm going to have a son, and then I'm going to have a daughter. I know their names and everything. The only one that I'm going to spoil is my last daughter.
Oh,
Because that's my little girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
that's
yeah.
amazing that you have that all planned out. You just know.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I don't want to like spoil my kids, but if they want to go to school, I want to be able to send them there without either financially burdening myself or them. So that's those are my goals.
So how do you want to grow old? Like from retirement to this is how I want to die.
I either want to die very young or just like obscenely old. I don't want to live like an average lifespan.
Okay.
I'm very much set on that because the average person lives to be around somewhere between 75 and 85. Modern technology and everything, I want to live to be like 150.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like just like something obscene. How I want to die, I do want to spend my final days, if I do get to choose and I'm aware of my surroundings and I'm capable of making those decisions, I do want to spend my final days in Hawaii. I'm in a stage of my life where I'm doing good on my
Yeah.
own. And if I can't find somebody that's at that same level, I'm more than okay with being on my own.
That's self-love right there.
Okay.
All right. Well, anything you want to say?
Free Young Thug. That's all I gotta
Free,
say.
free Young Thug for real. On God.
Yeah.
On God, Young Thug, bro.
Wear rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is Simps Pimps still.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Wear the rubber. Apparently, there's a condom too for women.
All right. You got any pimping questions? Should we just rapid fire all the sexual questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Body count, go. I'm like 35-ish.
20 something. 20 low 20s.
I gotta be in like the low 50s right now.
Favorite sex position?
Doggy style.
Doggy. I agree.
Back shots.
Yep.
Easily.
Oh man. Let's see. Yeah. Doggy. Doggy for the other person. For me, it's like when you're just kicking back, relaxing, they're just on top.
They're just riding your shit. I hate
Yeah.
that.
You do?
Yeah,
Why?
it hurts.
No matter how the person does it, it
Yeah.
just...
Yeah, it hurts.
It hurts what?
My dick.
What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were just into like a bunch of fat bitches, and it's just like it just kind of hurts. They crush me.
Oh yeah, no. I love my bigger women. I love that. But I got no problem with the weight. It's just like no matter what, when I'm getting ridden, it just physically hurts.
Weird.
It just physically hurts me.
Huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, is it because it's like the way that it angles? You know how?
It's an angle. It's an
It's
angle.
an
thing.
angle.
It's definitely an angle thing.
That's what
Absolutely.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay, it must be
Even if she's like the other way around.
reverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, but it is definitely an angle thing. I know that it is.
Okay. Because yours is it's not slightly left, right? It's straight up. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, that
That
makes
makes
some positions a lot pretty difficult.
Yeah. I
All right.
get that.
Craziest place you've had sex? Mine was in the ocean in Cali.
Craziest, a college dorm, while her dorm roommate and her boyfriend were sleeping, like just like right there, or the back of my car outside a very, very, very busy bar.
A Memorial Garden.
Oh, we've talked about
Yeah.
this. That's right.
No shot.
Memorial Garden on Veterans Day,
That's crazy.
That's fucking wild, right?
That's fucking
and then a
wild.
veteran popped up, and yeah.
No shot. That's crazy.
Yeah. When you are fingering a girl, do you hit the Spider-Man or do you do one finger, like the pistol?
Depends. But usually pistol. I'm usually in pistol formation.
Pistol
Yeah.
formation. Okay. Yeah, I don't know too many people who would hit the Spider-Man. It's only porn.
Well, I do, but while I'm doing that, I'm doing this.
Oh, you do the thumb rub.
I use
you
it.
do, you do the analog stick.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
wait. So you do that while one finger's in the pistol's in there. You hit the analog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or I use my tongue.
Okay.
I have a very serious question.
What?
So, I used to see this on social media everywhere, and it was a bunch of guys being like, something girls do that we actually don't like. Well, actually, you can't really answer this because you don't like the whole writing thing. But when they like rub on it instead of going up and down.
I mean I've been written, so I there is a very discernible difference between the two. and the kind of rubbing up and down thing definitely hurts a lot more than actually just kind of going up and down.
Because I heard guys actually don't like that shit, and they're like, it only feels good for you guys. And I'm like, I've been lied to
I mean,
my
it feels
whole
like
life.
it feels like rug burn, you know, like a lot of friction.
Well, yours is kind of like coming towards you, bro.
Right.
Most people just kind of slide to
No, I mean, but like if
It's
she's
like
like
to left
fully
to
on
the
top,
right.
but if she's like fully on top, like rubbing,
Oh,
and
I see.
instead of like going up and down,
Like
this-
grinding, yeah.
Yeah, this friction, like it hurts.
It hurts your stomach.
Yeah, like I mean, like yeah, like
Hurts
my
the
lower
stomach.
stomach, like above my,
I see.
Yeah,
For me, it doesn't hurt my stomach, but it doesn't feel insane. Like obviously the up and down is crazy, but it doesn't feel like I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a benefit for you, not for me.
it's definitely a her position, which
sure.
I mean, I'll thug it out. Like it hurts, but I'll thug it out because she's clearly liking it
For sure.
So I'll thug it out and I'll just let her do her thing. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
All right, this is my last question. Your most embarrassing, like, sex story.
Oh,
Whoa. I've already described mine, so I'm not saying nothing.
my most embarrassing. There's been multiple nosebleeds.
Wait, what?
You guys are just doing lines of coke on each other or something, or
You
what's
know,
happening?
I've never done coke, but
I know.
no, like my first like kind of like friends with benefits thing. Our second time getting into it, I'm on top and I just see like a drop of blood like hit her face, and I'm like, oh no, and I just I
Oh,
feel
you're
like
the
my
one with the nosebleed.
well, it's been
Oh, okay.
yeah. This is an ongoing thing with me with them.
What?
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
yeah, and there was another time. It was with this girl that was like 6 years older than me. It was my first like older girl. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then we were like kissing, and her nose ring got caught in my nose ring, and it
What?
it just kind of it yanked, you know. And for some reason that yank like caused her nose to start bleeding. And I'm just like, oh shit,
Oh, fuck.
whoopsie. And then just like a few weeks ago, I was with a girl. We were just kind of in like a weird kind of position almost, and the top of my head like bonked her nose, and it starts bleeding. That was fucking embarrassing
Oh,
for both
no.
of us because her nose like would not stop bleeding. Like it did not stop.
You fucking headbutted.
Like I headbutted the shit out of her, dude. I felt so bad.
I was going so in, and all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah.
Did you finish?
No. No. Like no, but
You're like, just pinch the nose.
You're like,
just
give me a
Me a
second.
second.
yeah, just like
It'll
just
be
like,
quick anyways.
the second I see the blood, it's just I just know it.
Oh, God.
That's the true kink.
Yeah, new kink unlocked.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, no. So multiple nosebleeds. I wouldn't say there's been anything like kind of generally embarrassing. I mean, I got caught by an officer, but that was before sex ever like happened. We were just kind of like canoodling.
Yeah. Mine was really young. It wasn't, for me, I think it was really bad because my dog was a puppy at the time. So there was a lot of like hairballs and fluff and that type of stuff like on the bed everywhere. And so my hands were like handcuffed behind my back and my face was down. And I took like a really deep like, and the hair went to the back of my throat and I threw up, but I couldn't catch myself because I was handcuffed. So I'm just throwing up. Like, yeah, it was terrible.
Jesus.
It was so embarrassing.
That's
Wow.
intense.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing.
That's intense.
Oh man, it was my very first time getting drunk. I was 21, right? And at the time I was talking to like this one mom who was like, I was like obviously 21. She was like 26, 27, and in my head, because I was so wasted, I was like, oh man, like I kind of want to like hit her up or something. But since I was so wasted, my homie drove me to my other homie's house in order to like stay there and watch me, things like that, because he was like, it's my first time, who knows if he's gonna throw up or things like that. So they were just kind of taking care of me. So I stayed at the homie's place, but I was like really fucking horny like at the time, and I was like, oh man, like I just let me just hit up her line or something, right? And I hit her up, and she's like, I don't really have a car, so I can't really be there for your birthday, things like that, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna Uber you here. So she was all the way in like Beaverton.
Oh my
Tiger,
God.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's expensive ass ride
Yeah, that's
from
a
fucking
deep Uber.
Clackamas
Yeah.
to Beaverton, So it's a 30, 40-minute drive, if anything. And And she's like, I'm down with it. Like, if you were the Uber, I'll be there. And so I was like, yes, I got a down bit, whatever, right? Being excited. And because I was always, obviously, I was drunk. And I was talking to Sid, the homie, because all he was doing was gaming, and I was just over there, just, like, yeah, Sid, is it okay if I bring that girl over and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah, bro, go ahead, like,
Yeah.
Sid, right? So the homies that used to live with Sid actually moved out, but they left a mattress. So there was a mattress there, and so I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, you know, you know what I mean? So, obviously, she finally arrives like an hour later,
Right.
and then it's like, yeah, we're all talking stuff like that. And then Sid has the door open, all that, right? And then my dumbass doesn't even close the door, so he's basically hearing everything, right? So anyway, I guess an embarrassing story is that I went to a homie's house, drunk as fuck, Ubered a girl, fucked her on a different homie's bed, and then while the other homie was hearing everything.
I didn't shut the door.
So that's, I guess, another embarrassing story.
Damn. Yeah. No, that is one for sure.
Yeah, being drunk is kind of crazy.
Being drunk, you just do the stupidest shit.
It's the Ubering her thing that got me.
There.
From Beaverton.
There was one time at the apartment, I was drunk as shit, and I was just texting like,
For sure.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And one girl responded, and I'm like, all right, come over. And she came over. She was doing, like, we were doing our thing. And then when we were done, she was in the bathroom. I was checking my phone. A different girl, a girl that I was a bit more interested in, that responded. And I'm like, all right, come over.
For sure.
And I'm drunk because I wasn't really thinking about it.
Shit.
And I'm like, oh wait, shit. No, I have a whole other girl here. And so I told her, I text Jake, and I'm like, emergency, right? And so he
Code red, bro.
And so he like comes in like bah 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 on my bedroom door, and I'm like, oh, that's my roommate. Hold on. And so I walk out there, and him and I just talk for a second, just like bullshitting about our day, just keeping it chill. And then I go back in, and I'm like, my roommate, he's trying to sleep. I think it's best if you probably like head out. And she's like, oh, okay, that's fine, and so I'm walking her to the door. She's turning the corner to leave.
Oh shit.
And this other girl's coming to, is turning in to walk in.
Oh no.
And I just shut the door. Like, I just closed it. And I just sat there like, fuck. Like, I did. There's no way she's not going to notice this, right? And,
No, for sure.
and then I hear, at the door. And I open it, it's her. I'm like, hey, come on in, all this stuff. And the first girl, she texted some shit like, you're a piece of shit, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, she noticed.
Damn.
The second girl didn't. The first girl knew what was up. And I
That's a wild ass
I
story.
didn't have the heart to tell her, or I didn't have the heart to apologize, because I was a demon at the time. So I just blocked her.
You just blocked her?
I blocked her, yeah.
Oh, bro, you didn't even be like, nah, that was my roommate's girl or anything. It's just,
No, didn't even attempt it.
Nah.
I was
You
too
didn't
too
care?
drunk.
Wow.
I was too drunk to think of an
for
excuse.
sure, I get that.
Because I was drunk.
Yeah.
And I was way too drunk to think of an excuse. So I'm just like, yeah, I fucked this one up, and I just blocked her.
Damn.
Brother. That's hilarious.
That was a bad one.
All right.
Yeah, I think it
well,
was a
I think
successful
that
podcast.
I think that wraps up this episode. All right, Noah, freestyle to the outro.
All right, bro. Hit this outro real quick. Let me get the, 16 bars. Go.
Okay.
It's about to end.
Hey, this beats ass. I can't catch this.